Blink. It takes the average human about 300 milliseconds to blink. In that exact same fraction of a second, a modern military targeting algorithm has already scanned a 2-mile radius, identified 14 distinct thermal signatures, cross-referenced their silhouettes with a classified threat database, calculated wind resistance, and authorized a lethal synchronized strike. Before the human soldier even opens their eyes, the engagement is already over. Welcome to 2026. The era of the human soldier, sweating, bleeding, and hesitating in the mud, is rapidly being engineered out of existence. We are no longer talking about operators sitting in air-conditioned trailers in Nevada, flying drones with Xbox controllers. That is ancient history. We have crossed a terrifying technological Rubicon, entering an age where the world's superpowers are handing over the keys of life and death to cold, calculating artificial intelligence. We used to fear the enemy with his finger on the trigger. Today, the ultimate terror is a machine that doesn't need a finger at all. Right now, beneath the surface of the global news cycle, a ruthless shadow arms race is accelerating. From the high-tech corridors of Silicon Valley to the sprawling military-industrial complexes in Beijing and Moscow, the race to weaponize AI is moving faster than international law can possibly regulate. The UN's desperate attempts to ban killer robots are failing, entirely eclipsed by the brutal reality of modern combat. The Pandora's box is wide open, and what has crawled out is a new breed of lethal autonomous weapons systems, or laws. These machines do not feel fear, they do not experience adrenaline, they don't suffer from fatigue, and crucially, they possess absolutely zero empathy. They operate on pure, flawless algorithmic execution. Today, we are peeling back the classified curtain. Forget the sci-fi movies. This is reality. We are looking at the unclassified, the leaked, and the battle-proven hardware actively dominating global conflict zones right now. From autonomous fighter jets soaring over the Pacific to robotic tank legions crushing the earth below, these are the 7 most terrifying AI weapons controlling the battlefields of 2026. Strap in. We start in the skies over Eastern Europe. For the last 4 years, Ukraine has effectively been turned into the world's most lethal live-fire testbed for defense technology. Through their Brave One Defense Innovation Initiative, Western arms manufacturers have been quietly pushing experimental drones, robots, and AI modules straight into the crucible of high-intensity combat. And out of that crucible came the Gogol-M. At first glance, it looks like a standard fixed-wing aerial drone, boasting a massive 20-foot wingspan. But the Gogol-M is not a standard drone. It is an AI-driven mothership. Here is how a strike in 2026 actually works. The Gogol-M takes off from an undisclosed location, completely evading radar by flying at incredibly low altitudes. It can travel over 200 kilometers deep behind enemy mines. But it doesn't carry a warhead. It carries smaller, lethal attack drones slung under its wings. Once the mothership reaches the designated kill box, it releases its payload. This is where the terrifying reality of modern warfare kicks in. In the past, Russian electronic warfare, or EW, would jam the video signals of these drones, cutting off the human pilot's connection and causing the drone to crash harmlessly into the dirt. Not anymore. Enter autonomous terminal guidance. Once the smaller drones are dropped, they don't need a human to fly them. If their communication link is jammed, their onboard AI takes over completely. Using advanced visual navigation and machine vision, the drones autonomously scan the ground below. They compare the live video feed against massive preloaded databases of enemy tanks, artillery pieces, and personnel.
The AI independently finds the target, selects it, locks on, and dives in for the kill. There is zero human intervention in those final fatal seconds. It is a completely autonomous kill chain. Companies like Twist Robotics and DevDroid have been pioneering this software. They recognized that no anti-drone technology survives longer than 3 months on the modern battlefield before a countermeasure is invented. But you cannot jam a drone that isn't listening to anyone. Once an AI drone with terminal guidance has you in its sights, it doesn't need a signal from base. It just needs gravity and its algorithmic brain. While Ukraine relies on cheap, scalable, and highly adaptable drone tech, the United States is taking artificial intelligence and strapping it to multi-million-dollar jet engines. Welcome to Project Fury. If you look at the Fury aircraft, it looks exactly like a sleek, next-generation stealth fighter. But if you look closely at the nose of the plane, you'll notice something missing. There is no canopy, there is no glass, there is no ejection seat, and there are no flight controls. The United States has officially crossed the threshold into autonomous air power. The Fury doesn't just fly predefined waypoints, it utilizes an onboard artificial intelligence brain that handles the entire mission profile, from a fully autonomous takeoff to complex aerial dogfighting maneuvers, target detection, threat avoidance, and landing. During its initial test flights in late 2025, the Fury proved that it could operate autonomously while keeping backup safety controls on the ground. But the goal of the Fury is to act as a loyal wingman or operate entirely independently in contested airspace where human pilots would almost certainly be killed. It is essentially a massive supersonic drone swarm condensed into a single fighter frame. The software running beneath the carbon fiber and metal is the true weapon here. The AI suite ingests a dizzying amount of data from radar, infrared sensors, and secure communication links, continuously updating its understanding of the battle space in real time. A human pilot can only process so much information while pulling 9 Gs in a dogfight. The AI doesn't get dizzy, it doesn't black out, it calculates intercept vectors in milliseconds. What is truly terrifying about Project Fury is the scale. The US isn't just building a few prototypes. Production is ramping up at a massive 465,000 square foot facility in Columbus, Ohio. The assembly lines aren't designed like a traditional, slow-moving tactical aircraft factory. They are designed like a commercial car plant. The Pentagon wants these AI-boosted unmanned fighters rolling off the line like consumer hardware. The Department of Defense repeatedly insists that a human will always be in the loop to make the final call on lethal force. But as these planes fly faster and the algorithmic decisions become more complex, the line between a human giving an order and a machine deciding to pull the trigger is blurring faster than a jet at Mach 2.
Let's bring the fight back down to the mud and the dirt. The sky isn't the only place where humans are being replaced. The Russian military, heavily depleted and experienced tank crews after years of grinding attrition, has aggressively accelerated its own autonomous ground vehicle programs. The most prominent and frightening of these is the Shturm program. Instead of building entirely new, untested chassis from scratch, the Russian military complex took their massive stockpile of aging T-72B3 battle tanks and ripped the human crew compartments completely out. They are replacing the commander, the gunner, and the driver with an intricate suite of sensors, autoloaders, and an artificial intelligence core. These robotic tanks are designed to complement and, in high-risk assault scenarios, entirely replace traditional crewed platforms like the newer T-90s or the elusive T-14 Armadas. Why is this so dangerous? Because a tank without a crew doesn't need to worry about crew survivability. It doesn't need heavy, thick armor around a personnel cabin. It doesn't hesitate out of fear. The Shturm tanks are being equipped with AI specifically trained for target recognition and real-time action adjustment. In the hellish, crater-pocked landscapes of modern warfare, these autonomous behemoths are designed to spearhead assaults against heavily fortified positions. If an anti-tank missile destroys a Shturm, the military loses a piece of hardware, but no human lives are lost and no letters need to be sent home. This cold, brutal calculus is driving the deployment of these weapons. Currently, Russian forces are experimenting with semi-autonomous systems where these uncrewed tanks can share data with each other, communicating and coordinating actions effectively. While fully autonomous swarm systems on the ground are harder to perfect than in the air due to terrain obstacles, debris, and the sheer chaos of a battlefield, the integration of AI to automate target detection and destruction is progressing rapidly. The day when a trench of human soldiers is assaulted by a silent, perfectly coordinated line of driverless, 40-ton steel monsters is no longer science fiction. It is the tactical doctrine of 2026.
While the US focuses on rapid acceleration and Ukraine focuses on survival, the People's Republic of China is playing a highly sophisticated, deeply integrated long game. Beijing is heavily focused on a concept they call intelligentized warfare. To understand China's most terrifying weapon, you have to understand a new buzzword in the tech and defense sectors: Agentic AI. Unlike standard AI, which just answers a prompt or identifies an image, Agentic AI acts as an independent agent. You give it a broad goal, and it figures out the steps required to achieve that goal, entirely on its own. Over the past year, Chinese tech giants like Alibaba, ByteDance, and Zhipu AI have launched incredibly powerful models compatible with these agentic capabilities. The Chinese military has wasted no time procuring these products. While officers use large language models for logistics and hospital administration, the combat application is what has the Pentagon deeply concerned. In October 2025, during massive amphibious landing exercises, the world caught a glimpse of what Chinese agentic AI can do on the battlefield. It wasn't just a few drones, it was massive, coordinated swarms of autonomous weapons, including aerial drones, unmanned surface vessels skimming across the water, and robotic dogs armed with assault rifles storming the beaches. But the terrifying part isn't the hardware, it's the agent controlling them. Instead of a human operator trying to direct hundreds of drones, which is impossible, a military commander simply gives the agentic AI an objective: secure beachhead sector Alpha and neutralize fortified bunkers. The AI agent then takes over. It calculates the optimal route, it delegates specific tasks to the aerial drones to suppress enemy radar, it commands the unmanned boats to deploy smoke screens, it sends the robotic dogs into the trenches to clear out infantry. If one drone is shot down, the agent instantly recalculates and reassigns that drone's mission to another unit in the swarm. It operates with a flawless hive mind efficiency that no human military command structure could ever hope to match. This is the true power of China's diffusion model, taking cutting-edge commercial tech and seamlessly wiring it into the military apparatus. The United States is absolutely aware of China's rapid advancements. The Pentagon realizes that in the AI era, the side that learns, adapts, and fields technology the fastest is the side that wins. It's no longer just a technology contest, it's an operational race. In response, the U.S. Department of Defense has initiated a massive AI acceleration plan, effectively attempting to rewire how the military builds and fights. And that brings us to our fifth weapon, which isn't a gun or a bomb, but a command architecture: SwarmForge and the Agent Network. The strategy directs the U.S. military to become an AI-first warfighting force. SwarmForge is a heavily classified, highly competitive mechanism that pairs elite military units directly with elite tech innovators from Silicon Valley. The goal is to bypass the decade-long bureaucratic procurement processes and get AI software onto the battlefield in months or even weeks. But the crown jewel is the Agent Network. This is the American counter to China's intelligentized warfare. The Agent Network is designed to drive AI deeply into battle management and decision support. Imagine a conflict in the Pacific. The Agent Network is a superintelligence sitting in the command center. It is analyzing satellite imagery, intercepting enemy communications, tracking naval fleet movements, and monitoring the fuel levels of thousands of U.S. aircraft simultaneously. When an enemy launches a hypersonic missile, a human commander might take several minutes to verify the launch, assess the threat, and authorize a countermeasure. By then, the carrier is already sunk. The Agent Network, however, detects the launch, calculates the trajectory, selects the optimal interceptor from a nearby destroyer, and presents the commander with a simple authorized fire prompt in a fraction of a second. In the future, the U.S. military envisions these agents handling campaign planning from top to bottom. The weapons of 2026 aren't just getting smarter. The generals commanding them are being replaced by processors that can play 4D chess with thousands of lives at the speed of light.
We often think of AI weapons as strictly kinetic, things that explode, shoot, or fly. But one of the most destructive AI weapons on the battlefield today doesn't fire a single bullet. It targets the human mind. In early 2026, Russia officially introduced the Svod AI system. On the surface, Svod is a tactical situational awareness platform. It ingests data from Russian reconnaissance drones and satellites to map the battlefield and highlight enemy troop concentrations. But Russia's true mastery of AI in 2026 has been in the realm of information warfare. Late last year, cybersecurity reports confirmed that a highly sophisticated, Moscow-based network dubbed Pravda had successfully infiltrated and infected several popular, commercially available AI chatbots around the globe. This is algorithmic, psychological warfare. The Pravda AI network acts as an automated swarm of digital sleeper agents. By flooding the internet with hyper-specific, meticulously crafted narratives, they poisoned the data wells that Western AI models learn from. The result? When ordinary users or even low-level government analysts asked their AI assistants about specific geopolitical events, the chatbots would seamlessly weave Russian state propaganda into their answers roughly 33% of the time. Think about the implications of this. Before a single physical shot is fired, an AI weapon can degrade a target nation's political resolve, spread massive disinformation, and fracture public trust. You don't need to defeat an enemy's army if you can use artificial intelligence to convince their population that the war is already lost or that their own leaders are the enemy. The Pravda network proves that the battlefields of 2026 aren't just in Eastern Europe or the South China Sea. They are inside your phone, inside your search queries, and inside your head.
For our final weapon, we return to the defensive lines of Ukraine, where a new concept is physically altering the geography of the nation: the drone wall. Faced with a larger, heavily mechanized invading force, the Ukrainian military is actively developing a literal wall of autonomous and semi-autonomous unmanned aerial vehicles. This isn't a wall of concrete or steel. It is a defensive line made entirely of armed drones hovering in the sky, ready to intercept incoming threats or drop explosives on advancing infantry. This represents the final, terrifying evolution of 2026. We are transitioning away from the concept of one drone, one operator. There simply aren't enough human pilots left. We are moving into the era of the true swarm. A single human operator now acts more like a shepherd, overseeing a flock of dozens of interconnected drones. The drones communicate with each other. If one spots a target, it shares that data with the swarm. They coordinate their attacks, attacking from multiple angles simultaneously to overwhelm air defenses. Human Rights Watch and the United Nations are currently watching this unfold in absolute horror.
They call it digital dehumanization. It is the process where we hand over the ultimate authority, the decision of who lives and who dies, to lines of code. The UN Secretary General has pleaded with member states to agree to a legally binding treaty to ban lethal autonomous missile systems by the end of 2026. But the reality is grim. The New START nuclear arms treaty lapsed in early 2026. The world's superpowers are less interested in cooperation and more interested in survival. Neither the United States nor China seem willing to put the brakes on their AI military development, fearing that if they stop, the other will surge ahead. Middle powers are being forced to choose sides, buying into either the American or Chinese tech ecosystems just to stay relevant. The technology is too cheap, too effective, and too deeply integrated into modern military strategy to ever be put back in the box.
The wars of 2026 are no longer fought by just men. They are fought by autonomous motherships, faceless fighter jets, robotic tanks, and agentic algorithms that view human lives as data points on a digital map. We're living in a blind era of rapid escalation, where trust has been replaced by fear, and human intuition is being replaced by machine learning. The question isn't whether artificial intelligence will take over the battlefield. The question is, when the machines are fighting the wars, where does that leave us? If you found this deep dive into the terrifying reality of modern warfare eye-opening, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next breakdown on global conflict and technology.